Hello friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you for tuning in. And I have a lap of the fish room for you, this week's lap of the fish room. Every fish and every tank. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. And I'll give you a first peek at a new setup in one of the tanks and also a first peek at an upcoming video. Let's go. Let's start with these beautiful Betta fish in the Betta duplex, which is a 29-gallon tank that has been divided with a 29-gallon divider. You can see it right there. It's from Life with Pets. And you can see the Dumbo is getting a lot of pink in the body, just very, very pretty. Always flaring and calling me out, challenging me, and of course my patriotic red, blue with a little bit of white. I call them candy. Beautiful colors. This tank, of course, has a little bit of live Sprite that they love playing in, some Anubias, some plastic plants, plecos, coolie, loaches, so it's thriving, and the less I mess with it, the better. We have a hospital tank ready to go. Livebearer tank doing great. Yep, that's a little piece of zucchini right there that I rigged a suction cup to hold in place. This tank is being filtered by a small sponge from the aquarium co-op. You see it back there. Nice big rock formation and a little bit of Anubias and a little bit of green algae growing there, which I like, and some Sprite, which is where the little fry hang out. You can see some fry in there right now. There's always some fry. I think a lot of them get eaten, but a lot of them make it. You can see them here. Here's 3 that made it. Little preview of an upcoming video. The black algae is conquered. Look at that. You remember what that plant looked like when I first put it in here? It is black algae free. The Cichlids did a good job. I think the little Siamese algae eater took it over the finish line. This is a high flow tank, which is the worst kind of conditions for black bearded algae. But as you can see, it's doing great. And that's despite me giving him zucchini, little zucchini, and I do put algae wafers in there. So he had other food alternatives, but he did a great job on that. That plant is ready to go back into the 55-gallon. Let's come over here to the 90. The 90-gallon tank has been redecorated. Now, do you remember that video I released on decorating tanks? I talked about the law or the rule of thirds, and then I talked about how this tank was just a mishmash, stuff just dumped everywhere. So I went ahead and redid this tank so it adheres more to the rule of thirds. So here we have 1/3 here with plant, wood, and rocks. I removed the center cave that nobody was using, and then created a bit of a Mopani wood structure here on the left. So this tank is now more in line with that rule of thirds, and I like the clean look of the tank. This Geo is just rocking. Both of them. Love this gold severum, who's always kind of on the lookout because he gets picked on a little bit by that red shoulder. Electric blue Ochart hanging out at the top there. So go over to the planted tank. The planted tank has also had a retreat. The black algae has retreated. In this tank we have, like in the other tank, water changes. For the plants that are in the ground, you have root tabs, and there are phosphate pads being used in the hang-on back filter that's on this tank. I believe the Buenos Aires tetras discovered that this plant here is actually a little tasty, and they started nibbling on it. So I'm going to pull that plant out and give it some time to recover in the 29 gallon and put the Anubias there. So let this plant kind of grow back in again. And then I've got to make a choice about those Buenos Aires tetras. I really like them. I don't necessarily want to get rid of them. But if they're just too hard on plants, they might not give me any choice. You can see here, plants are looking good. Even in the high flow area, this is the high flow part of the tank, you don't really see black algae. So the plants are becoming more and more established. And I have the autos in here and some plecos. I have a whiptail cat that you can see down there, whiptail catfish. So there's several critters in here that will eat algae, but I think the autocichlids and the phosphate pads and helping the plants outcompete the black algae with some of that easy green fertilizer, root tabs, things like that. I think that's really giving it the edge. But this plant will be going out. You can see I've got some zucchini stuck on there. And they'll nibble away until there's just the skin left. Love the way the rasboras will school around. I'm probably going to end up adding more neons. I think there's about 10 neons in here, but I think I'd like to add a few more, see if they come out more, get more confidence. Somebody made a suggestion, and I think I'm going to end up doing that. Nothing new to report on the 55 hospital tank or on the little pleco tank back there. If you saw my last live stream, you saw all the plecos lured out with algae wafers. But here's the 210 gallon South Central American tank. Just look at the colors on that large vieja. You got pinks, you got a little bit of blue in the fins, some black. Green tear, looking good. Showing the firemouth who's boss. It's little Jack Dempsey. Nobody seems to mess with him, even though sometimes the Nicaragua's kind of a tough guy, tough gal. It's a female. Doesn't seem to be afraid of anybody. Beautiful fish. Got a pleco cave back here and a big pleco in the tank, but he never uses the cave. So I'm not sure if I'm going to leave that in there. A little red tiger Oscar and red tiger albino. There's that firemouth back there. Here's the star of the tank, Sally the Salvini. Beautiful fish. Goes from cave to cave. She's got 2 caves, bi-coastal. The 2 chocolate cichlids are doing fine, living underneath that log. Kind of see them lit there in the back of the tank. Let's go over to the 300. For those of you who saw my bombing the cichlid tank video, you know that I changed the design of this tank. This tank was set up with primarily a centerpiece design. And I had to move the decor out so that I could block the pits that have been built by a couple fish. One in the back corner by the living stone eye, who is pairing up with the Fusco, doing their little dominance dance. This is the Fusco right here. And the other pit was over here that was built by the Malawi trout. See him hanging out back there, still wondering what happened. So the second I did that, the tank did calm down considerably. Here's that beautiful trout going around in circles, wondering where his little love nest went. He was pairing up with this sand diver, doing their little mating dance. So things have calmed down considerably since I did that. It's a Buccochromis spectabilis, beautiful fish. Has a similar pattern to the Kawingi, which you see right here. Similar color pattern. Buccochromis rhodesii yellow is just turned into a big stud. But yeah, things have calmed down quite a bit. As you can see, even the trout is just kind of hanging out and chilling. He's lost some of the black coloration on the bottom of his body, which is a sign that he's fired up. Same thing with the living stone eye. See if I can find him. Here he comes. This is the living stone eye, and when he's all blue, that's when he's fired up. So you can see he's got his pattern in his body again. So that means he's calmed down and he's no longer in breeding attack mode. The Lethronops oculatus couldn't care less. Just like the bicolor 500, just happy to be here. Look at what a strange looking fish, right? What do you think is stranger? This Malawi gar or the eye biter who's going off to the back of the tank? That's the eye biter. The eye biter is actually a cousin first cousin, a strange looking fish, to the Strigatus down here. You can see the resemblance. So this scape covering up both of the breeding pits is actually working out well. Well, I hope you enjoyed that lap of the fish room. Certainly share your thoughts and comments below. I do like to read them when I can get to them. And I hope to see you on Saturday for the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. It's a great group of fish keepers. We get together for an hour on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Central. Also, if you'd like to support the channel further, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, and consider becoming a monthly Patreon supporter. That is a way to support the channel on a monthly basis for as little as $3 a month. Details are in the description. All right, thank you for tuning in, my friends, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.